Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Direwolf20's 1.16 FTB Pack, where today we're going to make use of our fissile fuel. Alright, so we have built, I think the courier has just been finished, and it was actually got half built as part of the warehouse construction. I'm picking, oh no, you're still doing something. Picking you're going to be stuck on the roof though. How much health you got?
Not good enough, eh?
Nope, finished. You got a fair bit of health. You'll probably survive this, right? There we go. So we got this delivery man. Is it assigned? It's assigned to one of our colonists as a worker. I think that was actually somebody's kid. I forget who. You look like you might be the delivery man. So he should, in theory, run around and deliver stuff from the warehouse. And if we look up here, it said, you built a warehouse, however your people are too tasked as it is to fill it. Build some courier huts to hire couriers. Up to 2 can work per warehouse level. So this is a level 1 warehouse. We could build another courier. And he would, I think, retrieve stuff from the warehouse that we put in there. And should probably make this actually accessible. Done a little bit of terraforming. Doesn't look super good. Don't really know what I'm doing in terms of what this is going to look like in the end. And oof. Yeah, we just got some caves here. That's fine. That's fine. So we got a courier. We got this. Yeah, cool. That's not what we're doing today. But yeah, just ticking away with the colony. We'll end up with something. Right. So we left off last time. Up here we have fissile fuel. Now I think I put speed upgrades and everything. I did. Cool. Must have been at the end of the last episode. So we have fissile fuel. We have a massive hole in the wall. Boy, that looks good. Oh, much better. Okay, so we need to figure out what we're doing with fissile fuel. What I'd like to know is this a liquid? So you output gas, so it's a gas. That's unfortunate. And the reason that's unfortunate is I've got no way of transporting this away from my base. Like, in terms of having an ender tank. So, we probably want to start working on this fission reactor. So these casings are pretty easy to make, and the glass is easy to make. We should probably make some of this enriched iron. And probably just 1 stack of it. I mean, yeah, because it's only the reactor glass that needs it. I set up the auto crafting ability to this, but I've got no recipes. But I can now smelt. I can set up the glass recipe. Was the idea with that one. So if we chuck these in here, let's get us some enriched iron, which we can use to make some reactor glass. But we still have the problem of, hey, we're out of water in this. I think I made a mistake when I was doing something down there. That should have water in them. Oh, there we go. Ease away. I suspect, yeah. Just when I was playing around with stuff. Filling it up there, looks like I might have used the building gadget and filled in something I didn't intend to. But this nuclear reactor, do I want to build it in my base? The problem is we could have a meltdown. And if we had a meltdown, that would be pretty bad. That would be pretty bad. I mean, I guess we could just run like a massively long cable all the way over here. And to be fair, I don't think I need anything from this mob farm anymore. And it's probably... Why are you not harvesting anymore? Probably time that I just got rid of him. To be fair, we don't need him. And I think, yeah, having a reactor over here could be cool. Hopefully it's far enough away from the base that if anything bad were to happen, like a meltdown, hoping the radiation won't reach all the way over there to where our base is. Chuck these range upgrades in here, and now we've got access to our stuff. And you know what? We don't need this. Because we have the waystone that takes us to the nether anyway. Now I'm picking I didn't teach the fission reactor casing recipe. There's a stack of those things. Here's some fission reactor casings. Now I think this is the same as the normal Mekanisim style multi-block. I think we can go 5x5. Most stuff seems to go 5x5. So let's put you here. We'll do something like this. And yeah. And I guess we'll do something like this because I've already made these casings. And I think there is actually something else that goes on the top of this dude, though I might be thinking about the turbine. So something like that. Some of them. We're obviously missing the reactor glass. And it didn't form as a multi-block because I've obviously forgotten something. Is there a controller? Fission fuel assembly. These can be stacked on top of each other. I think we need some of these. I'll just have a quick refresher on how you actually make one of these reactors. But yeah, we should be pretty close to having all the stuff. Alright, so just a couple of things we're missing, and that is the control rod assemblies and fission fuel assemblies. And you kind of just stack these things. These should be pretty easy to make. So control rod assemblies, we could have 9 if we wanted to fill the entire thing. I might make just one for a start, just because these can melt down and create quite a mess. So if we make a small one, at least I think there'll be a less chance of causing a disaster, but we'll see how we go. So we get another couple of these. And this should be a full multi-block. And it is. I don't know why I haven't got connected textures. That's a setting somewhere. Connected textures fancy should be on. I guess maybe it's not in this pack. So that's alright. So, there we go. We have a fission reactor. Now he's going to need coolant. I believe water is the coolant. If we looked at fissile fuel uses reactor, yes, water. So need one of these ports to be an import for water. And I guess we'll just use a sink again. Obviously if you were doing straight Mekanisim, you'd probably use like the pumps that they have. But, and we might want a lot of water. So the mechanical pipe, we probably want the ultimate mechanical pipe, to be fair. 24 of them. Because this, yeah, we really don't want to run out of water. And that's on wrench mode. Here we go, we're getting water, and this is the fastest possible Mekanisim pipe, and I think that's probably a good idea. And hey, cool, that fills up with water. That's really cool looking. Right, so this guy has water. Next we need the fissile fuel. So for that we're going to want the pressurized tube, and we're going to want a bunch of that. Because I'm going to run it from all the way over there, because I don't want to have a meltdown. So we'll craft a bunch of these, like 2 stacks worth. So we can probably input here, I guess. Yes. I don't think it can be on the bottom layer. I think you need to have the solid frame. And yeah, that's where that's going to go. And then I just have to run the cable, or the pipe, all the way over to our fissile fuel over there. Alright, so this is connected over there. I do have a slight concern that just because of how far it is, I'm not sure what happens if like this area is not chunk loaded, but then this area is. Whether or not the fluid will actually travel the entire distance. So I guess we'll find out. I'll sleep and then I'll go the long way around. Which possibly still isn't the best test. But if we were to fly like the long way around, and then perhaps we'll find out if this fluid is actually going to make it all the way over to the reactor. Because it is a long way for it to go. Now there might be a quantum, one of those quantum storage things that can get the stuff over here, but oh hey, we've got fissile fuel. So we could turn this on. And boy, that's noisy. And he's making nuclear waste, and he's making steam. And we'll turn him off. We'll turn him off. And luckily he stopped. So we need to do something with the steam. And the steam normally goes in a turbine. And that's what you actually generate the power from. But we've also got this nuclear waste. Now we want to put that nuclear waste. It goes into the solar neutron irradiator. And ooh, that's right, that needs plastic. So we just need some ethylene, which we've accidentally made biofuel before, so that won't be too bad. We also need to deal with our steam and bronze ingots. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So yeah, our nuclear waste is going to go into this solar neutron activator. I think we can make this radioactive waste barrel, and I don't know how much it holds. No gas stored. Ah, so it's a gas, right? The problem is, I think once this is full, I think you can break this, but if there's radioactive waste inside like these pipes, you really don't want to break that. So we're going to have steam and nuclear waste to deal with. I guess we probably want to use these ports. And ooh, I wonder what happens if you break a reactor when it's got stuff in it. It looks like it's kept the nuclear waste and the other stuff, so that's cool. We set this to configurate. So this could be our output waste, and I guess, yeah, that would be fine. And this would be our output coolant. Output coolant must be this heated coolant tank, which has steam in it. To use any of this to make power, we need like these turbine casings, which that's just steel and osmium. That's pretty good. I know we need some of this stuff. Definitely want a turbine valve. Let me... We'll hold off. We've got the reactor. It is working. It's not going to make any power yet. Let's just check. We won't set this here, or that'll be a problem. But we need to get this HDPE plastic. And that's not too bad. So HDPE sheets come from HDPE pellets. Need a pressurized reaction chamber, which is going to need ethylene, which we get from a condensator to turn ethylene into liquid ethylene. Do we have to use liquid ethylene? Yes. Okay. So ethylene comes from another pressurized reaction chamber, which just crushes up biofuel, and we get some ethylene as a byproduct. And that just needs water and oxygen. So that's pretty simple. Let's pop back over here. And I guess we'll set this up here. Because we want to hook into not the hydrogen chloride. Maybe we want it down here actually. So that's hydrogen. That's oxygen. Oh, I really need to tidy up back here as well. So we needed 2 of these things. 2 of them. These are 2 pressurized reaction chambers. Probably going to want missing glass. I need to teach the glass recipe. And we just need to process a bunch of iron into these things. But we're going to want, so we need to get substrate. We need biofuel, which I guess we'll make another crusher for doing that. And we'll keep him pretty basic, because I think I'll probably use refined storage just to keep him full of wheat. Might be the easiest thing. So you can go, I guess you'll go over here. You're going to be making this biofuel. Then we're going to make in another in this pressurized reaction chamber. You're going to be getting the biofuel and turning it into substrate. And substrate is what's used to make HDPE pellets. Cool. And we'll make sure these guys get power. So you need hydrogen. And hydrogen is the white one, so we'll come out of this tank, actually. Be the way to do it. So we connect you there. You are full of hydrogen. Nice. Ah, and this also needed water, right? And we have water there. That's going to have to go awkwardly at the top. So you have water and hydrogen. If we just grabbed some, say, wheat, which we have 2,000 of, that would be going into this guy. He definitely wants these speed and energy upgrades. There we go. And auto output on. And that's a cool noise. Nope, we're not listening to that. So this is making some substrate and some ethylene. Now, pretty sure. So 50 millibuckets of ethylene and some liquid ethylene. So we need to make liquid ethylene, which is in a rotary condensator thing. A rotary condensator. You have ethylene in you. You need to be hooked up to the power. You got some power. You're making liquid ethylene. And then we need our next pressurized reaction chamber. So you're going to go there. You're getting the liquid ethylene. And you also need some oxygen. I guess we'll get the oxygen from the bottom of this tank. Boom, oxygen and liquid ethylene. Then you just need the substrate that's in this guy. And this is going to make our HDPE pellets. Now we don't need heaps of these, so I don't think I'll bother automating this. I mean, we might use plastic for building, maybe. Can be quite a cool building material. But for now, I think that's all we need, because we only need one sheet for this dude. We might want multiple of these, so. And we can enrich these guys over here in an enrichment chamber, enrichment factory. I suppose we can do it this way. Oh, it looks like it's multiple make a sheet anyway. 3 make a sheet. Cool. So we might just wait for a couple more of these. Whoops, went too far down. And I guess if we wanted to have like some sitting there, an advanced logistical transporter just around the front would be the way to go. You are not connected. You are extracting on the front. And yeah, we'll just end up with some HDPE pellets. We could put them in the system, but we don't need heaps. And I'd rather not waste our oxygen and hydrogen making this stuff when we're not really not in a rush for it. But definitely more efficient to chuck it in one of these guys. And hey, there's some of those. Right, so I'll just have another quick read up on how you build this turbine, because we're doing reasonably good for time. We might be able to get some actual power being generated out of this guy. We could turn them on, but eventually once the steam fills all the way up, it won't be able to release any of that steam, and it would explode. It would explode. And it looks like we can adjust how much fuel we're putting in here. I didn't realize you could do that. And we can, of course, add more of these rods. And that will make the fuel obviously be used. So if we add another big line of these things, I'm assuming it doubles it. It might not be quite that, but we're not too fussed about being super efficient. But it would be nice to get some power out of this guy. So back in a bit, and we'll try and build a steam turbine. Alright, so got all the stuff we need to make just sitting in that JEI bar. But here is the reactor I'm going to build. The turbine. Steam turbine. Reactor turbine? What do they call it? Turbine. Mekanisim's turbine that's going to use the steam that's going to be generated by this. Now, normally the steam that gets used in this, you would normally extract the water back out of the top and pipe it back down into the reactor. I don't know if we need to do that because we're using a sink. It could be kind of cool to pipe the steam back in, but then you run a risk of, if you do it that way, if your power gets full, like if our storage back at the base got full, this guy would stop generating. And if he stopped generating, he'd stop outputting steam, which could mean that this guy would run out of coolant, overheat, and explode. I'm thinking that maybe if we might just void the water that comes out the top. I think we might have to, otherwise this guy will stop. Yeah, I think as long as everything just keeps cycling, it would be fine. But yeah, we'll see how we go. So there is a video I will link in the description, hopefully. And if I've forgotten to, it's by Chaos the Terrible. And it's the Mekanisim V10 Industrial Turbine Tutorial. And it's pretty no-nonsense, just how to build it. So, we need a bunch of turbine rotors. And hopefully, I've got enough stuff back at the base. So mine is, probably one thing to note about the size. So mine is 7 by 7. The maximum height you can have is double the base, but then -1. So 7 times 2 is 14, -1 is 13, so this is 13 high. 12 plus the base, yes, 13, good. Just that I double check. So that means I think we want, so 13, but we lose a couple. I think maybe 11, might be too many. And this goes in the middle of the dude, so we need vents at the top, and then there's a couple of other things. So vents at the top, and then there's 2 more layers of stuff. So this here is the height we want it to come up to. Yeah, I think here. Cool. So I made too many. That's fine. If we grab these turbines, they're pretty simple to make. And I think you just right click and it's 2 per thing, and they obviously, I didn't mean to shift click that. That was a mistake. Yeah. And they'll automatically go up, and it looks like you can walk through them. Can we like recycle this? No, I just wasted some steel. We're probably going to need that steel actually. And then on top of this guy, we need this rotational complex, and that's going to need the steel. Oh, we've still got steel. Okay, I don't know what we ran out of. Maybe I just made a full stack. I'm glad it didn't make all of them anyway. So this rotational complex sits on top of this dude, and then surrounding this guy, we have pressure dispersers. So a bunch of pressure dispersers. Now we're out of steel. And these, I don't know if they have to go all the way around. But I don't see why you wouldn't. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the stats do. So we need a bunch more steel. That was a mistake. Alright, so we get some more pressure dispersers. And I'll try not to make too many because it's waste of materials. So we need another 2 plus another 8, so that's 10. I can do maths. And we're out of iron bars. And we're actually out of steel. Well, that's annoying. So this should be all the pressure dispersers we need. And then sitting on top of this, we need electromagnetic coils. And they sort of go around and on top of this rotational complex. And I guess these are kind of the things that we're going to want. So we need 5 by 5, we need 25, but less than that. 3, we need 9. 9 energy tablets. And I guess, yeah, this is like, the rod would be spinning something around, which would make these dynamos go. So, going around this is a saturating condenser. And so we're going to need some more buckets. How about that many buckets? 12. That's probably not enough. We're 4 short. Because we are waiting on steel. While we're waiting for that, the thing we need after that is turbine vents. I need turbine casings, which need steel. Alright, we're going to have to process that steel. I should probably set up some better automation for this, to be fair. Alright, so we need 3 more turbine vents. Oh, I haven't gone high enough up, but we still need 3 more turbine vents. But actually these need to go on the very top layer, so I actually need to come up. So I need another turbine rotor and another couple of blades. And yeah, the taller you make this, apparently the more efficient it is. So going even higher would be good. And then, yeah, now it's vents that go on top of this dude, and this is where you can extract the water out. So turbine vents. And that should have formed a multi-block, but I didn't put these things back in. Hey, we have a turbine. So the capacity is 28 million buckets of steam, so it holds quite a bit. And the maximum it can transfer is 800 millibuckets a tick. And we have this thing here. So apparently this limiting means if we had more vents, the turbine could do more. If we had more blades, the turbine could do more. But apparently we're going to produce 2 million RF a tick. That's pretty insane. The problem with that is, of course, that's going to fill up our storage, which would cause this to stop. But we should be okay. So we need a turbine, a valve. And I think this is where power goes in as well. I could be wrong. Let's try it. So we're going to want the steam to come in here. Oh, the power's going to come out of it, of course. I guess we probably want that around the front. Would be nice. If that's where that goes. So if we got in a advanced universal cable. He does connect there. Cool. So we get a flux plug, because I'm pretty sure these have infinite input. And this is definitely going to be the generators network, which public apply before I forget. Just in case somebody asked for a world download a while ago and I haven't got around to it, but probably at the end of the series I'll do a world download. I don't even know where I'm supposed to host it for people to download, but I'll figure that out. So then we want, is it a liquid? So we got steam. Steam is probably, well, of course, steam's not a liquid. What are you up to? Steam is a gas. Right. That would be steam. Now we probably want to get all the steam out as fast as we can. So we want some ultimate pressurized tube. And oh, we're getting steam in there. So we were actually producing a little bit of power. And that was just, yeah, we're producing 126 RF a tick. Now, this will fill up, I thought, with water. But maybe it doesn't. Where does the steam go if it gets full? Let's get our fluid trash, our liquid trash can, just in case, and a mechanical pipe, and an ultimate mechanical pipe. Normally you would extract the water out of here. That's a pressurized tube. You can see there is water in here, so I think if these filled up, that would be bad. Let's run this down. And I think the idea would be that you pipe the water back in. See, that's bad because, yeah. If we have this trash can here, we shouldn't get full with water, assuming that water's actually going in there. But I think we could turn this on now, and I think it would be fine. Let's turn them on and let's find out. So it's activating. The temperature is rising. We are getting steam. Steam is filling up, which means we're producing more steam than what this guy's using. Oh, and you can see the turbine is starting to spin. We are producing more power. So at the moment, yeah, we're sitting around just on 5,000 RF a tick. And as this guy heats up, which he seems to be sitting pretty steadily, but we can change the burn rate. And we're of course getting this nuclear waste that we have to deal with. Let's try adjusting this burn rate. So the burn rate is currently 0.1. Now it's 0.2. And I think you want to be really careful how fast you turn that up. But obviously the higher it is, the more RF we're making. So we're making 10,000. So let's double it to 0.4. And you can see we're starting to build up some nuclear waste. And we're going to have to store this somewhere. Now, is that a liquid? It is a gas. That's unfortunate. What on earth is this thing? Antimatter pellets. Antimatter. Polonium. Whoa. Don't know what that is. That's some pretty advanced stuff. So we're currently making 20,000 RF a tick. We're getting some nuclear waste. We're going to want to store this. I mean, so far this looks pretty cool. Temperatures seems to be staying steady. This isn't full of steam. I think if it was full of steam... Right, let's adjust it again. We really need to be careful. Let's go 0.8. So reducing nuclear waste a lot faster. Producing 40,000 hour per tick. So aside from this nuclear waste building up, this seems to be going pretty well. Now we're going to have nuclear waste coming out this fusion reactor port. Now, if we put these pipes, are we going to want to run them here? Maybe not. Let's turn this guy off. Should stop doing stuff, and he's cooling down. And this guy's going to slow down because he's using the steam. I think I want to move where the nuclear waste is coming out. And at any moment I could do something that causes radiation to go everywhere, but we'll find out. So output waste. I think we want that to come out here. We need some food. Alright, so this nuclear waste is going to come out here. And it goes in a gas tank. Or a chemical tank. Good if we could make a creative chemical... No, it wouldn't, because that doesn't hold unlimited, that has unlimited in it. So let's hold a bunch. A bunch of this stuff. And we don't have some of this atomic alloy. 256 buckets. I mean, we've made 1 bucket of nuclear waste. So I think this should be fine. And if we put this here, and we make the back input, he's got nothing in him. So we obviously need, and this is a gas. You want an ultimate pressurized tube, because we don't want to have to break this. And in fact, we can't really break this. If we do, actually, I'm going to upgrade the tank. Just because I wonder if the limiting factor would then become the tank, as in how much nuclear waste we could extract at a time. And that could be bad. So we get this chemical tank. I think you want to go here. You are not extracting... Oh, it has. But there's no chemicals in there. That's a little bit concerning. I don't see green particles, so I don't think we've done anything too bad. Let's turn you back on. You should be filling it up. I don't know where that chemical stuff is going. Because that says it's holding none. We probably need to make this an input. The back is an input. So you're making 40,000 RF a tick. I don't know where the waste's going. It should be going into this tank. I just can't see it yet. Maybe it's just filling this pipe or something. So let's change the burn rate. Let's go 1.6. Temperature is staying steady. So this is the maximum steam input we can have. And you're producing 80,000 RF a tick. That's pretty cool. And I would have thought we'd start seeing nuclear waste in here. Don't really seem to be. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Alright guys, well, we've done it. We have a fission reactor and a steam turbine going. We could leave it running, but I do suspect we're going to run out of fossil fuel, so we just need to work on our production of that. And yeah, the fact that we're running a cable that far is probably not ideal, but at the same time I didn't want to irradiate my base. But we've been pretty good so far. There's no green particle effects, so there's no radiation everywhere. But it's been ClassicDuff. You've been watching the episode. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.